investments.
Them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
Brian Clark State Farm offers a range of insurance products to fit your unique needs and give you a peace of mind. Our dedicated team helps you find the perfect policy to safeguard your biggest investments. Brian Clark State Farm can steer you in the right direction on auto insurance, and we've got your home covered from natural disasters to unexpected accidents. Contact me, State Farm Agent Brian Clark, at 217-732-6211 or visit sfinsurelincoln.com. Go Railers!
The following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln and online at merealty.com.
Good morning, sports fans. Welcome to the Cheap Seats on WLCN 96.3 FM. You can listen to us on the go. Download that Mixlr app or watch our live stream on YouTube. Go to YouTube and search WLCN 96.3 FM. We are uptown here at Joe Ryan Country Financial. Scott Kirby, Jake Johnston, Lloyd Kirby, and Jim Ash. And joining us, as always, on Saturday mornings, Coach Neil Alexander. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
A big win for the Railers last night. Kind of a bittersweet win for you, as you got a former player on the other side coaching at Mahomet and Schonauer, and give credit to our kids. They came out, got up big early, and Mahomet, usually a pretty solid basketball team. Looks like they're down a little bit this year, but we know how well and how good of a coach Coach Schonauer is, and he'll get that team playing, and he'll pick up that program, where it left off.
Yeah, he's putting in a new system and everything, and it takes some time, but I think he's been pretty happy with his kids. I know he wasn't very happy last night, but our kids played exceptionally well defensively, and basically, if I had to say anything, our defense has been pretty stable throughout the first 8-9 games that we've played, and last night was no exception. We were pretty good. We were flying around. We were making things happen. We were forcing turnovers, and one thing that we did last night that we haven't done in a long time is score off of our defense, and that makes life a lot easier for you.
Yeah, lost my train of thought there. I didn't get to watch a lot of the game, but the parts I saw, by the time I got it turned on, you guys were already up big, and you said points off turnovers, and that's something that we haven't really been able to do all year, but your kids are starting to figure it out. Kind of a slow start. We always talk about them handling the pressure, and on defense, cause turnovers, and now it seems like they're gelling as a team a little bit more. Now I know you talk about lineups. You put lineups in there that are going to meet the needs of the opponent. So we talk about how deep your bench is, and you can just plug kids in and where you need them.
Yeah, we went 10 deep last night, and we really played well, all 10 kids, and you know, that's a lot of fun. Those everybody got some time last night, and that's great for practice and going into next week and even tonight, kids knowing that, hey, you know, we played really well last night, and I got my feet wet and got some time. So, you know, coaches, you know, I know I feel I'd love to play every kid.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, every kid. They work hard, but to put a athletic team together, you have to have time. You have to be able to get into a rhythm and be able to play, and there's just not enough time. I've always said, you know, you got just at the college level, you got Kentucky, you got Duke, who go out and sign all these 5 stars, and why does 10 to 12 5-stars sign at one school when there's only so much playing time? So you end up having to sit on the bench, and you know, then you get unhappy. And I'm sure they're all saying right now, thank God for the transfer portal, to where, hey, I don't like it here, I'm out of here, I can go somewhere else and play. Well, why didn't you do that in the first place? But anyway, we had kids that got in and played last night, and I was really happy for them as well.
Yeah, and you say you would love to play all the kids, you know, the same amount of time, but at the end of the night, Coach, you've got a job to do, and that's to win basketball games, and you got to put the best 5 out there possible. And you know, matchups are a big thing. You know, we've seen defenses kind of slack off Sanders and, you know, kind of pack that middle, you know, and then you bring some shooters out there, and they can't necessarily do that anymore.
Well, exactly, and that's great. If they want to sag off of him, then he becomes a picker, and then you got your ball handler coming off where there's no defense stepping up and picking up, or, you know, we can stretch it and seal the people and make things happen that way. But, you know, you talk about a team, you know, on Friday, Saturday night, Tuesday night, you see, 6, 7, 8 kids playing. Well, the reason that we're getting better is because of everybody on the team, because they go to the other side, they compete, and basically this is one of the first times that we've practiced against basically another varsity team. So that helps out extremely, and you know, kids get, you know, they have to pick up on the run, that second group. They have to listen, and even though they're preparing us for games.
Well, before we move on to tonight's game, Coach, against Rochester, let's talk a little bit about the JV squad. They're off to a great start under Coach Gregg. You know, those kids, they haven't lost a game yet. Were they 4-0, 5-0, something like that?
4-0, I think 4-0.
You know, so, you know, looking at those kids that you'll have next year, and you got to remember they're without Komnick. You know, they've started off the season pretty good, and you know, that's got to be pretty exciting, you know, as you see them come up through to the varsity next year.
Yeah, you know, I think the numbers are there, and you know, through COVID, and it's just not at Lincoln, but it's everywhere where numbers are down in all sports, and hopefully as time grows and we get away from the COVID era, numbers will start going back up. Kids will want to become more active instead of you know, staying home and
there's nothing wrong with that,
doing video games and things like that. But hopefully those things will overcome, and as time gets away, like I said, separates from the COVID era, hopefully things like that will happen.
Yeah, and you know, that's you hit that right on the nail. You know, we got that bad word era, and then kids just kind of, you know, lost interest. And you know, now it seems, you look at the younger schools, the elementaries and the travel programs, you know, it looks like it's building up again, and you know, it's, you know, they just continue to play, and then you know, those grade schools start feeding into the high school, and you know, kind of just pick up where you left off.
Well, we hope so, and you know, the young programs are very, very important. They got to develop skills, and kids have got to play. You know, you just can't play, you know, from November to March, and if you do, you're going to struggle with your ball handling skills, your shooting skills, and everything else. So takes a lot of work.
Yeah, and you know, we the rec center offers a great program, and the junior railers program out there. It's been going on for years. Haven't had the opportunity to go out yet this year to watch, but that's the kids. That's kind of really where they start building interest in basketball, and just hopefully they stick with it.
Yeah, that program's been there, for a long time. Gordy Joshua, a long-time person who started that way back before I even arrived here, and it's just built over the years of, you ran it for a few years, Sam White's running it now, and it's important you got people that'll sacrifice their time, to help make and develop or allow these kids to have an opportunity to play.
Yeah, and it's fun, when I was out there running it, you see kids out there and you see how they kind of grow and get their fundamentals, and then how they kind of step up, and then you're watching them on the rec center court, and then several years later you see them in high school. So that's fun, and always fun to watch.
Yeah, it's fun to watch them develop.
Yeah.
Some of them, the change, how they change, how their bodies change, how their skills change is, it's fun to watch.
It is fun, and what parents have to realize when they're watching their kids out there going all crazy, they're still learning the game, and you're going to have your double dribbles, your travels, but they'll figure all that out as they get older.
Yeah, and I think at the lower levels we don't even keep score, which is people get upset with that, but who cares about the score? You want your kids playing, you want them to work on skills. It's not the NBA championship, and
I don't know.
You want you just want they got to develop skills.
Yeah,
and sometimes you just got to watch them play a little bit.
Yeah, and like you said, you don't develop those skills just playing November to January. They've got to work on those year round, and it's something that you can do in your backyard. I know back in your day you were probably dribbling on gravel, which made you a better ball handler, and it's just a matter of them getting out there and just working on it, and the skills will develop, and the more fundamentals and skills they learn at a lower age, that's less you have to teach them.
Yeah, and you're right. We started playing, or when I was growing up, you played outside. I mean, you would take and cut the fingertips off of cotton gloves, so you'd have your hands, but you had your fingertips to be able to catch and play with the ball. And just little stuff like that helps you. I've often wondered, why don't we just get some gloves, cut them off, and make the kids play on their fingertips where you're supposed to. But that's how we learned how to play. And we didn't have gyms. We didn't have open gyms. When I graduated from high school, and I don't even want to tell you what year.
1920?
It could be. But anyway, there was no summer programs. There was nothing. There was no weightlifting. There was no open gyms. If you played, you had to go outside and play. Once in a while, you would find a court that was concrete, but for the most part, it was on rock. And during the dead of winter, we'd be outside playing basketball. You'd put a sweatshirt on, and you'd go outside and play.
The good old town of Fillmore.
In Fillmore, Illinois.
Fillmore, Illinois.
There was some battles in Fillmore.
I bet.
There was some battles. There was some fights. You name it, we had it.
Coach, let's move on to tonight as we travel to Rochester to take on the Rockets. It looks like a much improved Rocket team. I know they had a big win against Southeast over at the BOS Center. Not really sure what they've done since then, but a Rochester team they're known for athletes. We talk Rochester, we talk football, but this has got to be a team that you can't overlook.
Well, they've got young kids. You'd be surprised if you'll see 2 freshmen on the floor tonight, a couple of sophomores. They're really, really young, and they're learning. And but like I said, the future is really bright for Rochester, and I think they've got a good 8th grade group. So they've got about 3 they're sophomores, freshmen, and 8th graders are all very, very good groups. So we'll have to play well down there. we've got to go down and just work at it and play hard and try to make things happen defensively and get some easy scores.
We got Rochester tonight, and I do believe Washington at home next Friday. Then take a little break, and then we head to Collinsville. We've already know the matchup at Collinsville, where we set. We're going to play McClure North that Wednesday night at 7:30. Wednesday night at 7:30. So I mean, we're in the thick of things now, Coach. And boy, you blink your eyes, and from Thanksgiving to the holiday tournament down in Collinsville, boy, if it does fly by.
Well, you get in. We get 2 more games in. We're a third of the way through our season.
Wow,
a third of the way.
Third of the way.
And that it just seems like we started yesterday. But, we talked to the kids. Hey, this is practice plan number. I think we have 37 practices in. We end up somewhere in the neighborhood of 70. So
a lot of games.
We're almost halfway there. Yeah. So. The time, we talked to them about how time goes by real quick. Basketball's a long season, but boom, it's here and gone.
Yeah, and that's why you kind of, I'm sure as a coaching staff, you kind of reiterate that, it does go by quick, so you leave it out all on the court, and, hopefully no regrets at the end of the night.
Yeah, and our kids, we've been very happy with the way the kids have worked out and practiced, and sometimes it's not all the mental side of it, but as far as effort, it's been there every day.
Jake, do you have any questions this morning? You want to participate?
Thanks for asking, Scott. No, I mean, we were talking off the air a little bit, and you were talking about, watching these kids grow up through the years. As a coach, you see them more on the outside, and then during the summer camps when they're younger. But you kind of form a bond with them too. I mean, do you have any players that you follow now after their careers are done?
All of them. We're going to run to. The Blackburn's playing at EIU tonight or tomorrow.
Should be a good one.
So we're going to go down and watch Jermaine play. So
yeah, Jermaine, I tell you, he's really come a long way.
Yep.
We watched him over in Illinois, and he played pretty good. You just kind of you like to see those kids that go through your program succeed, and he's found a pretty good home over there at EIU, and boy, he's really gotten big and learned the game. Unfortunately, it took him, he was still raw in high school, and boy, if you could have had him another year, he really could have been a force. And not that he wasn't, but he was still, kind of raw, I should say.
Yeah.
Now Marty's got him over there at EIU, and they got a pretty good squad over there.
Yep, they're doing better.
Well, Coach, once again, thanks for coming in on a Saturday morning. And I know you got things to prepare for tonight as we travel to Rochester. That's a 7 o'clock tip-off. JV will be starting at 5:30. Correct. And, always fun going down to Rochester and a big gym. But hopefully the Raiders can come away with another victory.
Well, we hope so. It'll be work tonight, so we could use our crowd. Crowd was great last night, and we'd like to have them to come and cheer on our kids and cheer for our kids, and hopefully we can come out on the right end.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks once again, and we will talk to you tonight after the Rochester game. And let's get our fan base down there. Not too many games. Well, 2 games left before Christmas break, so let's get out there and support the Railers. We're going to take a commercial break. We come back. We'll have more here on the Cheap Seats on WLCN 96.3 FM.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butter Burger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Joe Ryan, Country Financial, and joining us now is Coach Farmer. Good morning.
How's it going?
You get the pleasure of filling in for Coach Rohr today. She's got other obligations that she has to attend to, no better fill-in than Coach Farmer. So good morning and welcome to the Cheap Seats.
Hope they brought the B team in.
Well, I don't know about the B team, but you guys traveled to Rochester last night. Usually a pretty hostile environment. That's another, opponent that we've built what do I want to say?
A rivalry.
Yeah. Now back in the Central State 8, which, you played Central State 8 back in the day. How's it feel to be back in the Central State 8? Not just the road trips, but yeah.
That's the biggest difference there.
Yeah.
I mean, we're home by 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
I mean, kids can get their homework done. They're not doing it on the bus. But it's great to be back in those gyms that we haven't been in years.
Yeah. I know you guys had Southeast last week. Now Rochester, and the season's still young, but we talked a little bit about off-air, Coach, that the girls are playing well right now, but you tell us that they're not even clicking yet, and boy, that's scary.
Yeah. I mean, we've played good, but I don't think we've maxed out our potential yet. We've struggled shooting from the outside so far. Last night we finally started to put some shots together in the second quarter. But, I mean, a lot of our game's off our defense and pushing the ball. But, man, when you mix the shooting in with it, we're tough to beat.
Now, we talked earlier in the season, Coach, about, a lot of these girls played other sports, volleyball, and before basketball transition. Is there a big difference in being in basketball shape than volleyball shape, and is that something that they're still kind of adapting to?
Yeah, definitely. When they came in, we only had a week of practice. We were thrown right in games because they played so late. There's definitely a difference. And we're still not there yet on conditioning. We can't play, and we haven't had to play really a full game yet, which doesn't help. But, the good part is we're getting there in practice. It starts in practice and it carries over to the game.
These girls are athletes, and, they'll, as you said, they'll start clicking, get in shape, and I just feel sorry for those opponents.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've played together since, a lot of them since kindergarten, and you throw Taryn in there once they got to high school. So they know where to be, what to do. It's just a matter of getting us in shape and start hitting our shots.
Now, you had Rochester last night, obviously a big win for you guys. Going in there, you had to think that this is going to be one of the top teams that you're going to face. I know they've gave us fits in the past, but, you guys took care of business last night.
Yeah. I mean, we played them in sectional championship, their place last year. They lost a D1 player. They had one of their best players that hasn't played this season. She got hurt in volleyball, so that doesn't help them. But they won the conference last year. I think they went 12-1 or something. They lost one game, so I mean they're always a tough opponent. But we came to play last night and kind of put it away early.
So you got a holiday tournament coming up in Peoria.
Yep.
Who do you have before that? I'm sure you got a game or two.
Yeah, Monday we play Centennial, and Tuesday we play Eisenhower.
Okay. So then we travel to Peoria, and that looks like it's a pretty stacked tournament over there.
Yep, you got Peoria High's in there. Chatham's in another pool. They're 9-1 right now. But Peoria is the big one circled on there. I mean, they're number 1 ranked team in the state, undefeated.
And Lincoln number 2, undefeated.
Yep.
So that could be the game of the year right there.
Yep, and we play them later in the season too at their place.
Okay.
So I mean, we do have a lot tougher games in the second semester.
That's what your girls need right now. You need that competition and that closer scoring game, because we talked a little bit about off air. These girls are only playing 2.5 quarters, and they're not really in game shape yet for that full fourth quarter game.
Correct. Yeah, those games in the second semester and even at the Christmas tournament, they're going to give the girls what we need, and I think we play 3 of the top 5 4A schools in second semester, so we're gonna have tougher games, which is gonna prepare us for postseason.
And something else that really helps, I guess, if we talk about these blowouts, you're getting a lot of your underclassmen in, your freshmen and sophomore with some varsity experience. So that's just going to help you not only this year if you get in some foul trouble, but you're pushing forward next year too, where these girls are getting a lot of experience out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have a great JV team. Since I've been coaching, we lost 1 game. So, I mean, and that helps at practice. That some of these games we get better at practice because our JV team is dang good. They push them at practice. They give them everything they can handle at practice at times.
Yeah, and then when they step up to that varsity level, they just kind of pick up where the starters left off. They're still doing the same things, causing turnovers, making some shots, and that's a credit to your program where next man up, because next year you're going to be losing a lot of seniors, and to get those underclassmen some time in that varsity level, because there is a big difference between varsity and JV as far as the speed of the game, the size. So that's just going to benefit them down the road.
Absolutely. I mean, with our varsity team, you don't see too many teams have 5 seniors, and we got a whole squad of them. Most of your best sophomores, juniors are playing on the varsity team, and that's what I try to explain to our JV girls is we got 5 seniors in front of you that are great players, some of the best players in the state. So it is hard to find minutes on the varsity, but we're trying to prepare them at the JV level to step right in next year, because we are losing all 5. So we'll be ready. It'll be a different type of game, but they'll step right in and take where the seniors were.
Absolutely. Some big shoes to fill, but I tell you, just watching some of those JV games, they hold their own. Whenever you're up, what was it? I don't know, 68-2 at halftime at Southeast.
Oh, it was 44 to 0 at halftime.
Oh, 44-0.
But like I said, we haven't had too many close games, JV. But like I said, that's also because Southeast. Just take for example, I think they had 1 senior and they had 2 freshmen starting on the varsity team. I mean, and they were a good varsity team. They're going to be good in a couple years. I mean, they got a couple players that are young, but they're playing on varsity. So,
right.
The JV team gets stuck playing some of the ones that are not at that level yet. So, I mean, our JV team could compete with a lot of varsity teams.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And we see that on the boys' side, too. We took on a SHG team down at the BOS Center that, they're young. I think they had 2 freshmen, some sophomores, so, these schools are building up their programs. Everybody has down years, but it's what you do for those younger kids to kind of build them up and get them ready.
Absolutely. Yeah, and like I said, it helps us at practice because when you got a team like our varsity, it can be tough to practice if you don't have somebody close to that level underneath you, and luckily we do. Luckily they've gotten a lot better since last year, mainly because the varsity pushed them last year at practice, and it really helps to be able to compete at practice.
Are you looking forward? You said you're playing Peoria a couple times as the season goes on, hopefully with how the tournament goes on. But are you kind of looking forward to getting that competition in there, not only to get the starters in there, but also see how your reserves come off the bench in a more of a pressure situation?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's fun to win by 50 points, but you're
not learning enough.
Correct. You don't really get better in those situations.
Especially a team that yeah, you guys are competing on the Illinois level, but wouldn't it be cool to watch this team expand beyond that too? I mean, I know you're not doing that, but this team could compete nationally with a lot of teams.
Yeah. I mean, our biggest downfall is our size. We're a bunch of guards out there. We're playing 2 guards in the post, but they get the job done. They know their role. But yeah, we're definitely looking forward to some closer games. We need to be in pressure situations. So we're prepared for postseason.
Well, if the other team can't get it across half court, you don't have to worry about size.
Correct. But in those games, you get in bad habits and things that you can't do against good. You can't do against Peoria. They're too quick, and Peoria is. I've watched them play. A couple times this year. I mean, their defense is just. It's tough to do. I mean, they're running, jumping, they're in your crawl. I mean, it's something that we haven't seen yet. And we'll be preparing for it here in the next week.
Yeah, they got the Guyton girl. She's going to Iowa. I'm sure they've got some other girls on there, going to play at the next level as well.
Athletes.
So, but so's Lincoln, and that's one of those games that I don't want to say you kind of look forward to, because you got games in between there that you're game planning, but they have to be circled on your calendar, just because going into that game, you're really going to find out what kind of team you really have.
Absolutely. And I don't know if you've seen the pairings came out for sectional.
That was going to be our next topic.
Yeah, and so that game becomes much more important than it was going to be previous. Now they're in the same. Now we're actually in the same subsectional, which isn't favorable for either one of our teams.
Right.
But, they got third and we got second last year.
You got at least two of the top teams in the state, and one of them's not going on. So,
Correct.
I guess if you get through your regional and sectional, the state tournament would be a walkthrough.
I wouldn't go that far, but I wish it was that case. But they came out.
We can say those things. As a coach, you have to be more, level-headed.
I won't go that far. But they came out and they put three of the top three ranked teams in the state in the same subsectional. So, and for that goes, there's 6 of the top 10 in the same sectional. So, it is what it is, and we got to beat them to get there anyway. So.
You want to be the best, beat the best, and you just next team up.
That's right.
It's all you can do.
Postseason, everybody's record 0-0. So, it doesn't matter who you're playing. You got to bring your best game and show up, and the travel doesn't help. We go from playing Springfield schools to now we're going to Galesburg or Geneseo.
Yeah.
That's a 2-hour bus ride. So.
Yeah. Well.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. We have no control over it, but you guys will do just fine. But there's a lot of games in between, so it's still a fairly young season. I know we just talked to Coach Al, and here in a week or so, we're already a third away through the schedule, and it flies by.
Oh, it does. It does. I mean, you're knocking on Christmas tournament, in a week, and it's downhill from there. You better be playing your best ball after Christmas and looking forward to postseason.
Well, Coach, thanks for coming in today and talking with us. We always enjoy having you here. And you said next game's Monday?
Monday, yep. We play Monday. We are at Centennial Monday.
Centennial?
Then we play at home Tuesday against Eisenhower.
Oh, back-to-back nights.
Yep. And then we don't play again until Christmas tournament. So we got a little break in there.
Yep. And I'm sure some practices in between there and start preparing.
That's right.
Do you know who the first game is down in Peoria? Did you tell me that?
We are in a pool with Manual, and I'm trying to think who the other one is. Can't think off the top of my head. Well, we'll play Manual, and we'll play someone else the first day. And 2 games, and then we'll play the winner of Glenwood's pool. I think Glenwood's Centralia and somebody else. Can't think off the top of my head.
That's right. I'm sure you can go online, Facebook page, and find the schedule there. I know I did see it on Twitter. So, if you want to see that schedule, get online. It's out there. So, good luck.
Yeah, thank you, and we'll be ready.
Yep, and I'm sure we'll talk to you guys again down the road here. We like to get Coach Rohr on Saturday mornings, and if she can't make it, you're more than welcome to come.
Yeah, B team again.
I don't know about that. All right, we're going to take another commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more here on the Cheap Seats, WLCN 96.3 FM.
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com.
Morandini, and you're listening to Cheap Seats with Joe, Jake, and Shabadoo on 96.3 FM WLCN.
Concert last night. Got to see a little bit of Vanilla Ice.
Tone Loc.
Tone Loc.
Rob Bass. Young MC. Young MC was good. Color Me Bad. And I can't think of the other. I can't think of the other one. I hadn't heard of them. They were fun. I mean, all of them were fun. It was a good time. Whole bunch of people my age and maybe slightly older, and there's a few younger ones as well, but a lot of people dancing in the aisles, that's for sure.
Yeah, you're a little bit tired today.
A little worn down.
Maybe you should have went to bed earlier.
Maybe.
But you didn't.
Nope.
And now you're paying for it.
Paying the price. Paying the piper.
Paying the piper, but good time.
You know what? I'm game ready, though, Scott.
You're ready to go?
I show up. I'm here. I'm ready to compete.
You're here physically.
Right there.
Mentally.
Ready to compete.
Not so much. Jim had
I'm all in.
Jim wanted to bring up this topic off air. He's wanting to know, Bears fans, and phone lines are open, do you want to keep Justin Fields? Because we're going to have 2 top picks in the draft, or do you want to go get another a quarterback in Caleb Williams or Derek May? Do we keep Fields, or do we go get another quarterback?
What would your vote be on this, Scotty?
I like Fields. He's they're starting to play a lot better football right now. Their offensive line is starting to gel a little bit. Now still needs some work on that offensive line, but we saw what he did against Detroit.
What did he do?
We won.
What was the score?
I don't know, but we won.
It was like 6-3 or something.
No. But
let me say this. I'm on your bandwagon.
I'm optimistic about the Bears. Kind of had a rough start to the season. I predicted 12-5. I was just off a little bit if we went out.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? If we lose out, then you were just opposite.
Yeah, and we're still in playoff hunt.
Playoffs?
Yeah, playoffs, and
How funny is that?
Yeah, we'll see how they do this week against Cleveland. A tough defense.
The
Browns, very good defense.
Solid.
I know their offense is kind of have some injuries going on there. So
headaches.
As a Bears fan, how you guys feeling right now?
Not so optimistic.
Jim, what do you want to see? Do you want to see Fields stay, or do you want? Yeah, Jim likes Fields. He's on the Fields bandwagon.
I've been saying this for a few weeks. You can't expect you can bring in whatever quarterback you want.
Nothing's guaranteed.
Nothing's guaranteed. Not only that, this kid seems like he has a pretty good attitude. I mean, you've seen it before. Where they don't. Seems like he has a good attitude, a decent work ethic. He's a big feller that likes to take the ball, and I mean, I think you put a better offensive line up there. The offensive line has gelled a little bit. They're still not there. You don't have the quality product you need.
Right.
Upgrade that offensive line. Upgrade that defensive line where you really need the help.
Go get a Marvin Harrison Jr. On the opposite side of DJ Moore.
Ooh. Wow. Ooh.
Get you. It's their Bears have some options. But we'll see how it goes. What I say and what they do is completely different.
And you know how it is with the draft, too. If you're in the top 5 and you're drafting a quarterback, that salary cap hit is huge. Whereas if it's, if you're talking about linemen, defensive or offense, or wide receivers even, you're definitely taking that down quite a bit. It's going to really help out in the cap with trying to sign more players because the Bears need a lot of help.
Yeah, they need some help, but Fields, he's got things to work on. Decision making one of them, but he's still young. He's very athletic, and he's still learning the game. And I'd like to see him stick around.
Okay, fine.
That's all I got.
Let's let him stick.
All right, now let's move on over to baseball.
Oh boy!
How about the Dodgers and what they just did with Ohtani?
The question is
$700 million, and he's only making $2 million a year for the next 10 years.
Now, MLB does not have to allow this to happen. Are they going to allow this to actually go through? Because it could happen to a lot more players. There's a lot of players that come up and with their upbringing and whatnot that, if they were making a couple $1 million a year, they're perfectly fine. He's going to have all the money deferred, or the majority of the money deferred, and then also on top of the deferment, he's also getting paid interest from day one. So, great sign for him, and good for him. It's $700 million,
and he's going to make
baseball. That's really a rough deal when you're talking about these smaller teams that are, and I hate to say it, but they are kind of dependent on some of that money coming in to help offset some of their, especially with going out and getting these international players and whatnot. So,
and you look at it, and if I was a Dodgers fan, I'm fine with it, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Now they can go out and they can go trade for a Glasnow, from Tampa Bay.
Yep.
They can add more pieces and still not get hit that big on that luxury tax because all that money's deferred.
That's why I'm wondering if MLB is going to allow this.
You think that they would have to step in just because the integrity of the game is damaged. What's that tell the other big market teams that, what they can do now? And it's just going to snowball.
Well, and my argument for not signing him a week ago was basically you're taking the cost of 2 to 3 players and you're putting it into one because he can pitch and hit. I get that. That's a dynamic we may very seldom ever see again. However, with that being said, when you're taking that and you're pulling it completely out and setting it over here because you don't have any it's not a cap, but anything going against their dollars allotted, then that luxury tax is not affected. You don't have any repercussions on it. So,
would you like to see a salary cap in baseball?
I'll be honest, I kind of like the way it is, but I don't like this signings, the deferring of the money shouldn't be allowed. It should still be.
It should be on the books.
It should be on the books. A team has to pay its price. That's fine. You won't pay it. Pay it. There's nothing wrong with that. But also, take care of the rest of the league because you're, that's what happens. So.
And what's that do to the fan? That's gonna increase ticket prices.
Maybe. I mean, you got to also think his draw. I mean,
he's
pretty remarkable how much he does, and doesn't speak much English, and he does very well with sales of jerseys, bringing crowds in and whatnot, just by him being there. I mean, he's kind of and you haven't seen it in baseball for a while, but kind of one of those guys that you remember the day you went and seen him play. So if he's coming to your town, if he's coming to St. Louis, he's coming to Chicago, you're kind of excited to see him. I mean, even if he's just a DH, that's pretty exciting. Now, once he gets to pitching, if he's still as dominant as what he was, I mean, that's a pretty good day. I mean, I remember games that I went to that Clemens was pitching, and a few other guys actually that are top tier guys. Oswald, I always liked him. Kurt Schilling, there's a few others, Randy Johnson. I went to games that they pitched, and I was looking forward to those games, and I still remember a lot of the game now. I mean, it was fun times, and he's that kind of player.
Well, and you think, well, he's only making $2 million a year. He's going to make a ton off endorsements.
He'll probably make about as much as he's making in a salary. Yeah. If he was actually making a salary.
Pretty sure I could live off $2 million a year.
Oh, I don't know, Scotty.
No,
you're kind of boochy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
A little bit. Look at this little cheap seat sign.
Yeah, that cost me $3.5 million right there.
Now look at that phone.
Yeah,
now look at my finger.
No, I don't want. I don't want that finger near me. I know where that finger's been. Stirred your coffee with it. But so baseball season, right around the corner.
Have your Cubs done anything yet? I mean,
no, we went out and got a manager. That's about it. There's still some big names. Bellinger's still out there.
Bellinger's still out there.
There's still some big names out there.
He's being linked to Toronto right now.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
So I don't know. We'll see. I figured they would. I don't know what kind of offer they threw at Ohtani, but you got to think all along that he was wanting to go to the Dodgers. Doesn't really have to move. He's in L.A. So I mean, it's a perfect fit for him.
Spring training's right down there too.
Yeah, so
not too far away.
There probably was no really even any doubt. Just how media is.
Well, you have to think if this offer was, how long has this offer been on the table? And if he was willing to do that, and his reasoning behind doing it is, I want him to be able to sign other players. So you have to think if this offer's been on the table, where else would he even looked?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know, but he had us on the edges of our seat, and now we're just sitting back on our seat, just shaking our head.
And maybe that's why he got up to $700 million, is because he said, "Listen, I'm going to take $2 million a year. That's it for 10 years, and I want everything deferred so you guys can sign other players." I mean, if you're the Dodgers, you're San Francisco, Toronto, Chicago, heck, St. Louis even. I mean, a smaller market. Look at Kansas City. If you could do that with any of those teams, would they do it? I think they would. Now you're trying. Let's say you try to trade him. I don't know if he has a trade clause in there or not. I guess I never looked at that.
Well, he does have a opt-out if the
team's not winning.
Well, if ownership changes or something like that. President or whatever, that he can opt out, but why would you opt out? I think you still get. I still think he gets that money though.
The Dodgers are for sale.
Yeah.
So I mean that is.
I don't know, but just maybe my bitterness coming out. But like you said, MLB really has to look into this, and I don't know if they'll do anything about it.
I don't either.
I think it's a done deal, but it's just in my eyes.
I don't know if they could.
It's just my opinion. I think it's sketchy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make baseball fair, And you want to see baseball be even, and you talk about the low market teams, Tampa Bay, Milwaukee, Kansas City, Oakland. They can't compete now, and that could be the demise of their ball club. You see teams moving all the time, and now the revenue. You know, if your team's not winning, you're not filling the stands. And
you look at the Yankees bringing in Soto. That was a big move,
Yeah.
but it's also having luxury tax implications where they're passing a big chunk of money down, and it's going to the rest of the teams.
well, now look at the Yankees. They're like, well, look what the Dodgers just did. And,
Yeah.
you know, look at Boston. They can do it as well. And it's just. No, it's not an even playing field, and it hasn't been for years. But now it's just over the top.
Yeah, I wonder. I don't think you'll see very many players with the ability to do what he
that,
did.
but you will see it.
I wonder how many agents want that to happen because they're getting paid on a yearly basis.
Yeah, well, they're getting they'll
get the deferment down the road too.
Yeah,
but what if they get fired between there and there?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
is it on that contract? I guess
probably.
I really don't know.
I don't either. That's why
you probably be taking a nap soon after that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, sign that. Say goodbye.
Say goodbye. Well, speaking of saying goodbye, unfortunately, our show has come to an end, and we will have to part ways. But we'll be back on air next Saturday. Are we on air next Saturday? Well, Jim don't know yet. He's looking
Stay
at Lloyd.
tuned.
I mean, it's up to you guys. I'll be here. Lloyd says no. So,
Lloyd says he has 6 games to do in 2 days. He is not.
all right, so we may or may not be on the air next week. I apologize. I know you guys listen to us Saturday mornings and might be a little lost, but we'll see what happens. All right, thanks for tuning in to the Cheap Seats on WLCN 96.3 FM.
Good day.
Whether you're buying or selling your home, the brokers of Me Realty will work with you to get the deal done. As one of Central Illinois' top producing offices for decades, Me Realty has the experience to guide you through the process. You want results? Call the brokers of Me Realty at 217-735-5424, stop by the office at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln, or check out local listings online at merealty.com. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center makes an impact locally and beyond through a wide range of events, ministries, and outreaches. Pastors Steve and Debbie Owens invite you to worship Sunday mornings at 10:30 and attend Wednesday night Bible studies at 6:30. Connect with FGEC online, follow them on Facebook, download their app, and visit their new website at myfgec.org with live YouTube video streams as well as recordings of services and special events. Full Gospel Evangelistic Center, 304 North McLean Street in Lincoln.
Brian Clark State Farm offers a range of insurance products to fit your unique needs and give you a peace of mind. Our dedicated team helps you find the perfect policy to safeguard your biggest investments. Brian Clark State Farm can steer you in the right direction on auto insurance, and we've got your home covered from natural disasters to unexpected accidents. Contact me, State Farm Agent Brian Clark, at 217-732-6211 or visit sfinsurelincoln.com. Go Railers!
Culver's is a family restaurant. To me, that means being the place that puts a smile on everyone's face. We're famous for our cooked-to-order butter burgers and frozen custard made daily inside our restaurants. But we've always believed more menu options mean more ways to brighten your day. We source the finest chicken to bring you our tenders and chicken sandwiches. And our cheese curds. They're a Wisconsin tradition we're proud to share with you. So take the next meal shift off and let us take care of you. Welcome to Delicious.
Culver's, home of the Butterburger, 2530 Woodlawn Road in Lincoln. This live video stream is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln and online at merealty.com. The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com.